before we go any further, I'll put the name of the winner of the shoes that I have here giving away, the Nike Zoom X Invincible Flyknit. I believe the name was some random dude 47. So again, I'll just put the name on the screen here. Send me an email and we'll link up with everything for the shipping information, so I can send those your way. And again, I hope that they're helpful to you. I think you had put that you're a size 11. Hopefully it was clear enough that they're a size 12 and a half, but again, I think they may work, so I'm happy to send them off to someone who needs them. So yeah, just send me an email and I'll send them your way. I may be giving away some other shoes and things like that that just don't work for me that I try out. So do consider subscribing if you're not already, so that way you can follow along for that. I may be actually filming me running the New York City Marathon, which I think could be interesting. And, we'll be signing up for other races in the future, do different product reviews and things like that along the way. So I want to dive into last night. I'm going to show you just kind of what I was doing on the track and some of the faults, I guess, of what I start to see with the wrist-based heart rate. It's pretty common for the wrist-based heart rate to not be as accurate as something like a chest strap. But typically you'll see a pretty decent record if it's a consistent run. Like if you just go for a straight 5-mile run, it's consistent, it's not too hard of an effort, or even a race effort. As long as it's consistent and there's consistency, you'll see the heart rate reads pretty well these days. But this is an example here where I'm doing, a 7x800. I'm stopping the watch in this case, which I think makes things worse. And then there's also just a lot of changing heart rate. So it's going up and down during either rest or, work periods. So we'll go down here and you'll see this was my warm up here. So we had a nice steady warm up and the heart rate looks good. It's just increasing a little bit. Then I rest, and here we go with the start of 1 rep, then rest, 2 reps, then rest, 3 reps, rest, 4 reps, rest, 5 reps, rest, 6 reps, rest, and then this is the 7th rep ending right here and going into a cool down lap, and then the finish. So those were the 7 reps. And what you'll see here is, although the pace was pretty consistent, so throughout the whole run I was at about 7:45 per mile. Towards the end, you can see here it started to dip a little bit. I think I probably was going around 7:30 just because I was getting excited that the workout was coming to an end. You can see here again, almost dipped to around 7 minutes, give or take, because there's some variability here again with the watch and the GPS. But in these first reps, you can see my heart rate after the rest period is only going up to like 135, 140. And that doesn't really make sense because even in the warm up where I'm going slower, I was already at 140, 140 beats per minute. So that's pretty consistent of an issue throughout. And again, what I was doing was I was stopping the watch, which I think exacerbates the issue with the Garmin watch or any heart rate on the wrist. And you'll see again, I stopped the watch after 1 rep and I actually walked for recovery. So with the Yasso 800s or any other 800 workout, usually you'll do like jog a 1/4 mile, or which essentially is equal to do the similar amount of rest as you do for the work period. So if I'm doing 3 minute and 45 second or so reps for an 800, I'm going to rest for 3 minutes 45 seconds or so. So in this case, I just walked up and down the track once, which is like a 200-meter walk recovery for about 3.5 minutes or so, I'd say. And then I would start the watch again for the next rep. And when starting the watch after the break, you can see it just never picked up the heart rate, the true heart rate in these first reps. You can start to see here it spikes, so I think it finally caught up and realized, oh, the heart rate's around 158, 160. That seems normal to me for the effort that I was putting in. Here again in this rep, all of a sudden it catches up and realizes we're actually near the 160s. Same here with a late spike. And then this is an example, I think, of one true rep where the watch picked it up. So right away I start and it's already up to 150 early, and you can actually even see the lap coming around here. Within the first 200 meters it's already up to 150. After the first 400 meters I'm at 160, and you can see consistently through the second 400 it's around 165. I'm starting to drop to around 720 pace again in this 6th rep, and it goes up to close to 170 beats per minute as I'm kind of speeding up and going faster than I really intended to. So this is kind of my one good sign and the only piece of data that I can really look at and say, okay, my heart rate was right where I wanted it to be. You know, this is a 5K, 10K, somewhere in between there effort. This is the 6th rep of 7 after a warm up as well. So to have a 165 beat per minute heart rate around the right pace, again, I start to go faster than I really should in this case, but that's where I want to be. And this is one sample of good heart rate data, only 1 rep out of the 7. Do I think the wrist-based heart rate really picked it up correctly? So I just think it's interesting to kind of do a deep dive on that, to kind of see again where the flaws lie in the watch. You know, like I said, I did stop it and do my recovery, then start it again, which I think just throws the watch off completely. It doesn't do a good job at, you know, understanding what happened in those, you know, 3 minutes where the watch wasn't recording, but you know, your heart rate is obviously still beating, and then all of a sudden it's got to pick it back up and figure out where to go. So I think whenever I run the watch consistently, like if I did 800 reps and then let the watch keep running, just marked a lap and did a 400 jog, it may be a little bit better. Here's one sample that I have. I believe this was another time where I was doing 800 meter repeats. So we have, you know, an 800 repeat example here. So you'll see my heart rate again. This is probably during the warm up. I went out from the track, came back from the track here, and now I take a, you know, quick break and I'm starting the rep. So all of a sudden we're going into our first 800, heart rate climbs 140. And I think here even you can see, you know, it has a time where it just doesn't pick up right away that I'm at a workout effort, and then all of a sudden the heart rate spikes and it catches up. So I'm in the 160s, running again about 745 per mile. The heart rate picks up a little bit more, up to 165, 167. And then you can see here, I'm just doing a jogging recovery and my heart rate's going down to the 140s, 145. And then I'm going right into, again, another workout effort where it quickly goes back up to 160, 165. And then again, you know, it's a jogging recovery 400. So you can see my heart rate starts to go down, and then it picks right back up as I go into, again, another 800. So I'm not going to bore you, but the cycle continues, and you can see that, again, there's not that weird drop off in heart rate where things aren't consistent, and it's not able to pick back up, just like this piece right here. Whenever you stop the watch, it just isn't really able to catch up the right way. So if you really want better wrist-based heart rate data, it seems like it's definitely better to just let the watch run, do your recovery with a jog or even a walk. I mean, I don't know why I really stop it. I guess it's really just so, you know, it doesn't impact like my overall pace, because I want to be able to see how quickly I was going, and I wasn't hitting the lap button or anything like that, which I could do instead. So that's the basics of it. That's just a sample that I wanted to show you, you know, what I was starting to see with some of the wrist heart rate data. But nonetheless, yesterday we had a good workout. I'm not super data driven. I know some people really, it is a little bit frustrating in the way that like it throws off your effort. And if you look in the Garmin app, it tells you you weren't necessarily doing an anaerobic workout. It throws all the data off. I'm not too worried about it. I know, again, because I had that nice little section in one of the 800s that my heart rate was where I wanted it to be. That's what's important. That's what I'll take away from it overall. And you know, again, you just can't rely entirely on a wrist-based heart rate to give you all the data that you're looking for that accurately. So with that deeper dive into my heart rate and everything throughout the workout, I think we'll just call it a day today. We'll, you know, go out for our 5-mile run. So while I'll see, you know, I'll bring my camera out and you will get a little bit of clips of what the run is like today. That's the last you'll hear from me. So hopefully I'll see you in the next video.